This past summer, I was at a baseball game where fans genuinely cheered a foul ball on the second pitch of the game. No, yeah, seriously. I'm not making that up. The game I was attending was part of the College World Series in Omaha, Nebraska. The Arkansas Razorbacks took on the Ole Miss Rebels. Ole Miss has a guy on their team who both hits rockets like this walk-off on your screen right now, and stands as an absolute unit on their football team in his spare time. They were also the 64th ranked team of the 64 teams that received an invite to the NCAA tournament about a month earlier. And that supposed worst team in the tournament won the whole thing. These things are only possible in college baseball, a sector of the game that truly does not get enough love. I'd always kinda liked it throughout life as a kid who likes MLB Power Pro's success mode and somehow managed to always find games on in the background during childhood summer vacations, but it needs way more exposure than that. It's a slice of baseball that fans need to see more of, need to give more of a chance, and will undeniably develop a soft spot for. And to help, I brought a friend to help me explain some things. First, if you want to give the camera a little wave there, that'd be appreciated.
What's up?
That's Eric Sim, the king of JUCO, a former college and pro player himself who now serves as one of the biggest advocates for college ball on the internet. But before we get into all that, my name's Mike. I just want to say that if you enjoy what you see here today, please consider dropping a like and subscribing to the channel for more like this. Under 20% of you watching are subscribed to begin with. I promise you always hear YouTubers say that for a reason. It really does go a long way. Now let me show you why you need to start tuning into college baseball. The first thing that stands out in a big-time college game more than anything else is the atmosphere. I noticed it firsthand in Omaha. Everyone feeds off it in any marquee game.
But I mean, it's just electric, you know, most people are drunk, you know, so they're just having a good old time. Just incredible atmosphere. And I think fans being that much involved just makes the game so much better.
Fans start their own traditions too. Texas A&M was known for their fans counting consecutive balls opposing pitchers would throw out loud.
This is like the first tee. You've never been so nervous to throw a pitch.
Ole Miss fans shower themselves with beer every time their team homers. And it's not even just the fans who contribute to the atmosphere. It's the players too.
Come on now, big hit Matt got one more big hit in him.
Look at my son move. Look how he moved. The chub rock, doing them schmurder days. Okay.
Much more than any professional baseball game, college games feel like dogfights. Every single player in either dugout wants to win so bad. They want to win more than I want a Baja Blast at any given moment of the day.
Dude, I'm telling you, college baseball, man, every game was like you're going to a war. You know what I'm saying? Like you go to a war with your homies and you literally ball out until you can't move.
And this insatiable desire to win comes out in the passion all the players have. You will see guys in the middle of February, like 4 games into the season, with more energy than almost any MLB game you've ever watched. Because college baseball teams are bands of brothers. These guys have been with each other every day since the school year started, and by the time you get deep into the season, they've probably seen way too much of each other. But that's the beauty of it.
Pro ball is a little bit different because, like, you know, guys get moved up and down all the time, and I don't know. I just didn't feel the same as compared to college baseball. College baseball, like you're there, your 30 dudes or whatever you play with are gonna be there.
Team camaraderie is off the charts, and there's something to be said for that. But I'll be perfectly transparent and tell you right now what I think the biggest reason people can struggle to care about college baseball is. How far away it is from MLB. College football and basketball guys get drafted and you see them playing on your TV in a pro league within a couple months. A college baseball guy, more often than not, is several years away at best. The minor leagues chew guys up and spit them out. And sometimes even the best of the best in college are never heard from again after that. I want to take a second to introduce you to Marshall McDougal. In 1999, Marshall McDougal hit 6 home runs in 1 game for Florida State. No one in MLB history has even hit more than 4. He did make it to the major leagues, so he was really good, but he only had 18 at-bats in the major leagues. And he was a net negative player in terms of on-field statistical value. But sometimes, I think that distance away from MLB can be a good thing, for two reasons. First, these are still really young dudes playing ball. It's inherently gonna have that feeling of youth in it, because your top end guys are like 7 years younger than top MLB guys. But in a much more dreadful feeling, this is the end of the line for a lot of these players. Most of these guys know they are never gonna sniff professional baseball, so they're savoring every single second on the field. It comes out in that passion I was talking about earlier. You're gonna get a guy who's a few months away from selling insurance on the mound trying to get the most important outs of his life. You might get a guy who really hopes he can get this last out to lock down a W for the boys because he has a discussion post for Intro to Philosophy due in a couple hours. You might get Jameis Winston closing down games. Wait, what? And that dude on the mound might be facing a guy who isn't far off from being paid millions to play baseball some more. Who wins? Who cares? These guys are both out here because they love baseball, and both guys are going to give it their absolute all, and it'll show. You don't have to think of college baseball as connected with MLB, nor does it have to replace your MLB fandom. It's different. College football and the NFL can coexist. So can these two completely unique pieces of baseball. Hey you, do you like offense? Well, you're gonna get a lot of it in college baseball, because guess what? They use metal bats. College baseball has a lot of high-scoring games. I've never seen anything like it. You want 25-22 baseball? Well, you'll get it here. Is your team down 12-0? Well, they could just come back and win 29-15. College games can get as chaotic as when DJ Academics' computer crashed. According to Wikipedia, the first ever college baseball game in 1859 was 73-32. I genuinely cannot fathom 73 runs. 73 is more than double the MLB record for runs in a game. College baseball will get weird right from day one. Alright, here's a quick little story tangent thing that proves how weird, chaotic, and amazing college baseball can be. 2018 SEC tournament. LSU has a pitcher named Todd Peterson who is throwing really well in a meaningful extra inning game. Coach asked him if he hit in high school because some weird quirks and the game going on pretty long means he might have to bat. He said he hit nukes in high school.
Dude, that's a answer.
Right.
Coach, I'll be honest, I didn't hit in high school. My coach didn't let me. You know, I hit BP a couple times. You know, I did hit nukes, I'll tell you that. But,
Guess what Todd Peterson did in his first ever time hitting in college?
Find a spot in the lineup. Oh, he tattoos it off the wall. One run is in. A two-run double for Todd Peterson.
College baseball can quickly become like one of those shootout football games where whoever has last licks is probably gonna win. The best college hitters will give you a show like no other. This last year, Ivan Melendez at Texas played 67 games and hit 32 home runs. That's a pace that would give you 77 homers in 162 games. So he's better than Barry Bonds. That's basically what I'm saying, right? If you hate pitching, this is an exciting side of baseball you can get behind. But if you love pitching, oh boy, are there guys for you too. Ben Joyce and his 105-mile-an-hour fastballs, Jack Leiter throwing 20 2/3 straight hitless innings in 2021. I think one of the best things about college ball is that there are dudes on both sides who can really get after it. The best players will really stand out and give you shows of dominance that make them look like seasoned MLB veterans. So much so that you'll forget these kids are like 18 to 22 years old. They're probably going to swipe through TikTok and play Call of Duty for the next few hours after their baseball games end. And that's kind of awesome the more you think about it. What these kids also become are pillars of their community. College baseball has a way of becoming a huge staple of the areas it's in, and building something the whole town can rally around. If you don't believe me, go to Mississippi State. They have each of the top 10 most attended college games on a campus of all time. That right there is a community that shows out for baseball. The University of Southern Mississippi, or Southern Miss, is a non-Power 5 school that has really mastered creating a great atmosphere for the town. Hey, look at the lights, that's cool. They're one of the best teams in the country, and part of that stems from the support they managed to get from the community of people who care that surrounds them. Their stadium is in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, which has an estimated population a little over 48,000 people. In 2022, they averaged over 4,700 people per game, and even had a game with 6,346 people in the stands. That right there is over 13% of the city's estimated population in the stands for this one college baseball game. East Carolina is another mid-major team that plays in Greenville, North Carolina. Their consistently solid baseball team was one of the most fun in the country this past year, and was one win away from going to the College World Series in Omaha. A capacity crowd of almost 800 people, more than the stadium even seats, showed up and sat through 5 hours of weather delays. All that just to cheer their team on. Look at the difference in lighting between the start of the top of the first inning and the end of the top of the first inning. These fans sat there for that long in crappy weather because they loved the team they came to support. ECU lost this game 11-1, but the crowd stuck by their team for every second of this absolute eternity of a baseball game. Having people rally around baseball this much is something special. And once you get to Omaha, that gets turned up to 11. 8 teams every year survive and advance to the College World Series tournament. I know locals out there who get super excited months before you even know who's gonna play. In June of 2021, a buddy of mine was like, dude, go. I go every year and there's nothing like it. June of 2022, I took his advice, as mentioned in the very beginning here. I went out and caught a game this past summer. I had no idea who the teams were gonna be until I was in the car on the way to the stadium. Imagine that, going to a sports game and having zero idea who the participants are going to be. Zero. I mean, I knew who was in the tournament, but I on purpose didn't look to see who the game was going to be, just for that little fun surprise, you know? I was still beyond excited to go. Once the little chalk drawing direction thingies led me inside, I got a baseball experience I really haven't seen much to compare to. Packed house of Arkansas fans, Ole Miss fans, Omaha natives, and some guy in a Ken Griffey Jr. jersey, ready to watch baseball. Arkansas fans celebrated every one of their home runs with a Pig Suey chant. They won the game, on the backs of solid pitching and timely bombs. A few days later, Ole Miss won the whole thing, as the supposed worst team to even crack the field of 64 teams. The 64th ranked team will never win March Madness. It won in college baseball. If you don't mind, I do want to get personal for just a few minutes. I think this might be the first time I've ever publicly mentioned this, but I've also worked in college ball for the past 5 years. I've been on the staff at D1 FAU since I was a freshman in college. I'm getting a master's degree this December. The last 2 years, I served as director of analytics. My job was basically this, guys, if you've ever seen Moneyball. I'll be leaving that role upon graduation, but not without it leaving its mark on me. College baseball opens up your eyes to stuff you've never seen before. Like, I saw a kid hit grand slams in his first 2 college at-bats in the same inning. This is an environment where things will get weird, and that's part of the fun. Miami once ran like a fake pick-off baseball trick play thing in the College World Series. Weird can be the operative word for college baseball sometimes, in a good way. That can even show in the teams that win the tournament. In the last 20 years, Cal State Fullerton, Fresno State, and Coastal Carolina have won the College World Series. You ever see a school like that take home the college football or basketball championship? This slice of baseball is littered with scrappy underdogs who are easy to root for and will give the big boys a run for their money every single day. It's a place full of grit and passion from eclectic groups of guys in all likelihood playing for their last few years. And that's not meant to just be a scary doom and gloom thing. A lot of these guys embrace and savor that. I've seen guys come from overseas, I've seen hungry walk-ons, I've seen military veterans, I've seen a little of everything come together for the sole purpose of having fun and playing competitive baseball. Even from when I played baseball as a kid, one of the biggest lessons the game taught me was the value of a team. Hell, why do you think Stark Raving Sports is more than just me? I'm not the man I am today without college baseball. Eric Sims said the same thing during our talks. It has a way of molding you, changing your life perspective even, through a bunch of kids playing some of the most passionate baseball you can find. It's done wonders on me. I hope you can give it the same chance next season too. There's a lot to get invested in, and once you're hooked, it could change your life.